Alright, so first and foremost, I want to give our praises to Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai, Ba'asham, Rakakodash. We see the ones, the apostles and elders of great milton rule well. And salutations to the Akimot, to the pushing the word in all truth and sincerity, day in and day out. Right? See Shalom. I don't know, this just going to with the story of David and Goliath, the account of David and Goliath. And it's just hit my spirit that hey, all you need is the Lord, is a belief in the Lord, and the Lord being with you, and you can conquer anything, right? And for instance, it's just like what went on with David, So I will start from 1 Samuel 17 verse 33. It says, and Saul said to David, thou art not able to go against this Philistine to fight with him, for thou art but a youth, and he a man of war from his youth, right? So there is Saul telling David, hey, well, you can't go and fight this Philistine, you just a youth, you know nothing about war and so forth. But this man from his youth, Goliath know about war, right? And verse 34 it says, and David said unto Saul, thy servant kept his father's sheep, and there came a lion. Now this was David speaking unto Saul here, right? So what David telling him here now is that, and David said unto Saul, thy servant kept his father's sheep, and there came a lion and a bear, and took a lamb out of the flock, right? Let's say in verse 35, and I went out after him and smote him, and delivered it out of his mouth. And when he arose against me, I caught him by his beard, and smote him and slew him, right? So David telling him, hey, I caught this lion and I kill him, even his size, even being in his youth form I am, I killed this bear, he slew him, right? So David say, thy servant slew both the lion and the bear. He slew both the lion and the bear. And this uncircumcised Philistine shall be as one of them, seeing he had defied the armies of the living God, right? So David tell him, hey, defying the armies of the living God, that, the Lord go deliver this Philistine unto us, right? In thy hand, right? It says verse 37, it said, David said, moreover, Yahweh had delivered me out of the paw of the lion, right? And out of the paw of the bear, he would deliver me out of the hand of this Philistine. And Saul said unto David, go and Yahweh be with thee. So David telling him, hey, the Lord, the same way the Lord deliver me out of the paw of the lion and the paw of the bear, the same way he could deliver me out of the hand of this Philistine, out of the hand of Goliath. Because you know what? David be for the Lord, and the Lord deal with David the same way, right? So you say verse 38, and I say, and Saul armed David with his armor, and he put an helmet of brass upon his head. Also he armed him with a coat of mail, and David girded his sword upon his armor, and he has said to go, for he had not proved it. And David said unto Saul, I cannot go with these, for I have not proved them. And David put them off. So David take off the armor and so forth. He take it off. David literally take it off. In plenty of these stories and so forth, they show you the things, how David was, and what the things David do in this time, right? David actually take off the armor. How much men go and take off this armor to go and fight in a war, in a battle against Goliath, right? And just remember, David was a youth here, right? And if you go back to the before, as I say, just touching on it, this trust in the Lord, because the Lord going to deliver you out of this harm. It's the same way today. It's the same way in the instance that David said here. When you read over verse 37, it says, David said, moreover, the Lord that delivered me out of the paw of the lion and out of the paw of the bear, he delivered me out of the hand of this Philistine. And Saul said unto David, go, and the Lord be with thee. The same way he was delivered back then. He delivered from the animal. The same way he be delivered from this Philistine, from Goliath. And the same way we ourselves have to put the trust into the Lord, that he delivers us through certain instances, that things in our life is the same way he's going to deliver us out of this captivity, out of Babylon, right? Out of Esau's hands. It's the same way to put your trust there, right? And not give up, not lose faith, right? Going to verse 40 now. And he took his staff in his hand, and chose him 5 smooth stones out of the brook, and put them in the shepherd's bag which he had, even in his scrip, and his sling was in his hand, and he drew near to the Philistine. And the Philistine came on and drew near unto David, and the man that bare the shield went before him. And when the Philistine looked about and saw David, he disdained him, for he was but a youth, and ruddy, and of fair countenance. Right? And the Philistine said unto David, I am a dog, that thou comest to me with staves. With staves, so that, right? And the Philistine cursed David by his gods. As a mistake, Goliath do, right? Matter of was a mistake, just something that judgment was going on be upon him. So so Goliath now watching David and saying, hey, that's a dog, or this youth or listen to fight me, this youth coming to fight me, this young man, not of no big stature and so forth. Well, a dog, this picture it is picture like what Goliath seen in front of him, a youth, fair countenance, still in his youth days, right? It's and the Philistine said to David, come to me, and I will give thy flesh unto the fowls of the air, and to the beasts of the field. Then said David to the Philistine, thou comest to me with a sword, and with a spear, and with a shield, but I come to thee in the name of Yahweh of hosts, and God of armies of Israel, whom thou hast defied. All right, and that would David tell him, like, that who I come in, right, in Yahweh, right. Say this, that way this sparked my thing that, hey, that's how I trust in the Lord's name as well, because again David stated, I come to thee in the name of the Lord. And what is the name of the Lord? Yahweh, right? So he come in the name, and there are plenty of these other men that saying that how you could call the Lord any name, but David say he come in the name, he didn't say come in the names. So again, what is the name? The name of the Lord is Yahweh, right? So straightforward, not putting your trust into Yahweh. Straightforward, the Lord go deliver out of anything, right? It say whom thou hast defied, this day will the Lord deliver thee into mine hand, and I will smite thee, and take thine head from thee, and I will give the carcass of the hosts of the Philistines this day, unto the fowls of the air, and to the wild beasts of the earth, that all the earth may know that there is a God in Israel. And that's right. Yeah, I know. And what David telling him there, the Lord will deliver you into my hand. Right? The Lord will do that. As he say, you have to pay a trust that, you know what, the Lord is going to put Esau into your hand. You know, when the Lord bring you back in a spiritual body and so forth. Right? So going down here, it says, and all this assembly shall know that Yahweh saveth not with a sword and a spear, for the battle is the Lord's, and I will give you and he will give you into our hands. And that's right. That is to show you to put the trust into Yahweh, right? Because you know everything is his will, it's not your will. So what David telling him here is this, the assembly, and everyone go know that, hey, the Lord ain't saving with no sword and spear. So, hey, that way you see we just say it's a spiritual battle, not a carnal battle, because the spiritual is dealing with the Lord. Right, the carnal is just dealing with this physical, talking about this earthly things like guns and like how David tell him here, with sword and spear. Plenty people think that to be saved is with a sword, with a gun, with a missile, with a knife and so forth. But at the end of the day, what David tell him here is that for the battle is the Lord's, right? The Lord, whoever decision the Lord make, it will stay final, right? And he will give you into our hands. So that way you see the pay trust into Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, right? It say verse 48, and it came to pass when the Philistine arose and came and drew nigh to meet David, that David hasted and ran toward the army to meet the Philistine. And David put his hand in his bag and took thence a stone and slang it and smote the Philistine in his forehead, that the stone sunk into his forehead, and he fell upon his face to the earth. So what David was telling him, that the Lord will deliver you into my hand. The Lord did deliver Goliath into David's hand. And he said, as I said, the same way supposed to pay a trust into the Lord is as what David did, right? Right. So yeah, so basically everyone must know the story of David and Goliath, but You know, it's just one or two things that I wanted to touch on my reading over the scriptures, you know, that hey, David straight up trusting the Lord, that many other men in Israel didn't do, and so forth. That David watching the enemy in his face and telling him, hey, the Lord will deliver you into my hand, right? And there's a powerful scripture here. When you go back to verse 47, and all this assembly shall know that Yahweh saved not with a sword and spear, right? So the Lord, as I said before, this is not a carnal battle but a spiritual battle. So you're supposed to put your trust into Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, right? Put all your trust in matter of fact, because the Lord ain't going to tell you pick up a gun to try to save yourself. You can't go and fight no enemy with that, right? It is the Spirit of the Lord that be with you to be saved, right? So you say for the battle is the Lord's. That's right. The battle is for the Lord. The new scriptures say that the Lord must already a battle. The Lord is the host of the battle and so forth. He say, and He will give you into our hands. So you know that powerful scripture, right? So again, you know, just run through the scriptures, you know, and touching that. Hey, same way David gave his trust into the Lord. Same way you yourself have to do, right? So you know that we give our praises to Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Ba'asham Rakakodash. We see that one, see the apostles and elders of great ministry rule well, and salutations to the Akim, to the pushing rule, no truth and sincerity day in and day out. We say Shalom.